Relationship is a spiritual practice. A lot of people come together because it's just really comfortable living with another person, and there's a wonderful kind of sweet intimacy. And it's fun to cook with each other and fun to sleep together, and it's fun to just live life together without trying to get too deep in as a spiritual practice. And many of those people have other spiritual practices. They go off and meditate, and one does Tai Chi or something else. And that seems fine to me. I mean, you can stay high alone. It's much harder to stay high in an intimate relationship with another human being, because everybody gets frightened and they all start to protect themselves. And then the minute they do that, it's just roles interacting, and the spirit is gone way down in and it gets lost. So it's a beautiful yoga. It is a hard yoga. I don't think you should make believe that a relationship is really yoga unless you're willing to really put the effort into making it such. And if you are, it really fills all the space for a long time. When I'm in a relationship with somebody else and what they do upsets me, because I understand that my life experiences are the gift of my guru in order to bring me to God, that if somebody upsets me, that's my problem. This is a hard one because we don't usually think these ways in this culture. And you can't milk the romanticism of relationship too long as you become more conscious. It's more interesting than that. It really is. And people keep wanting to romanticize their lives all the time. It's part of the culture. But the awakening process starts to show you the emptiness of that form. And you start to go for something deeper. You start to go to meet another human being in truth. And truth is scary. Truth has bad breath at times. Truth is boring. Truth burns the food. Truth has anger. Truth has all of it. And you stay in it and you keep working with it and you keep opening to it and keep deepening it. And every time you trade in a partner, you realize that there's no good or bad about it. I'm not talking good or bad about this. But you begin to see how you keep coming to the same place in relationships. And then you tend to stop because it gets too heavy, because your identity gets threatened too much. For the relationship to move to the next level of truth requires an opening and a vulnerability that you're not quite ready to make. But predicament is if you push anything away, it's got you. And so you entrench, you retrench, you pull back, and then you start to judge and push away, and then you move to the next one. And then you have the rush of the openness, and then the same thing starts to happen. And so you keep saying, where am I going to find the one where this doesn't happen? And it'll only happen when it doesn't happen in you. When you start to take and watch the stuff and get quiet enough inside yourself so you can take that process as it's happening and start to work with it and keep coming back to living truth in yourself with the other person, even though it's scary and hard. The ideal, of course, is where two people work together. In relationships, you create an environment with your own work on yourself, which you offer to another human being to use to grow in the way they need to grow. Lovers are an environment for their partners. Parents are an environment for their children. Children are an environment for their parents. And you keep working, you become the soil, moist and soft and receptive, so the person can grow the way they need to grow. Because how do you know how they should grow? People have two children. One of them is a very old incarnation, an old Lama who just dropped down to bless everybody. The other one is immediately post-Neanderthal. And they're siblings. My children, they're two entirely different beings. So you've just got to listen to hear what a human being needs, who they need to be in a lifetime. So when you work with a situation where you don't change it, you just work on yourself a different way. The idea of manipulating the universe in order for you to be happy is just one model. The other model is manipulate your own mind till you're happy with what you got. That's the only way to do it. Because if you keep manipulating the environment, it's never right. Did you never notice that thing? I mean, I'll go to Kauai, rent a house, get a car, have a lover, get art supplies, get fish. Yeah. Do you notice the weather is a little clammy today? Damn it, the Jeep they gave us, it's not running on all the cylinders. That damn restaurant was closed tonight. I mean, I can watch how you can create an absolute hell out of the whole thing that was to be heaven and paradise. And then you just laugh at yourself. I mean, the spirit is mediated through ego. It's just a question of how identified you are with it. But in India, where many marriages are arranged, and you don't even see your wife until after the wedding. I mean, they wear masks at the wedding in some villages, and then they take off the mask and there they are for life, because there's no divorce. I mean, you don't divorce in a village. So this is it. This is it for life. But what's interesting about that is when they understand dharma of relationship, there is a way in which it's like what the Marines say, that if you can change it, you change it, and if you can't, paint it. And when you can't change a marriage, you start to work with it. When you have something that you're in, like I couldn't trade my father in for another father. He was given to me. That's the given. I can't divorce my father. I can go away from him, but I can't divorce him. And what I found was, because I had to keep dealing with my father, who called me Rum Dumb, and who, he loved me a lot. He thought I was very sweet and well-meaning, and we were buddies. But it was weird, because he didn't really understand what I was doing. Dad was interesting work for me, because he was a given. I couldn't trade in. And in the last years, I was with him a lot. And I began to see that that was work on myself, to not judge him, not to try to change him. He was what he was. He was a perfect statement of Dad. He was absolutely perfect who he was. It was only when I had a model of how I would like my father to be that there was trouble. And you don't even know why it's there in the first place. It's so interesting to allow people to be who they are. What you're surrendering to is God in the form of another person. Because most of the beings that we call gurus are really teachers. The likelihood of finding somebody that's a cooked goose is reasonably slim. Since they're not cooked geese, they have their own karma. They have their own stuff. And so they become somebody through whom a teaching comes, but they themselves are not truth. They are merely a vehicle through which, if there is a purity in your heart in the way you seek truth, you will take, as the swan is able to separate milk from water, you separate this purity of their message from the stuff of their karma. And you take the truth and you work with it. To tell me these things in yourself is acknowledging the fact that you see them at some level. And when you're with another partner that you're really trying to work with, by acknowledging that stuff with each other, it doesn't mean that you have to extract something from them. It's just that the relationships that are the most exciting are where the contract is to share truth. Many relationships don't have that kind of a contract. They have a contract of, you won't threaten my ego and I won't threaten yours. We'll both feel comfortable. But if the relationship is designed where you agree, when I say to you, will you help me awaken by sharing your truth with me? It may be difficult for me to hear it, but that's the work I will do with myself. And then you say to me, would you help me awaken through sharing your truth with me? Sometimes it'll be hard for me, but I'll work on myself with it. That relationship gets very exciting. That gets loaded. That's juicy. I mean, Jai and I have been friends for many years, and we have that contract. And sometimes it's been hard. There have been moments when his truth to me has been painful for me to work with, as mine has been to him. But we trust each other because we're both committed to awakening. We take that truth and we keep working it and working with it. It's the same in my relation with Judith, who I've been with for many years. It's the same one. Now, those kinds of truth relationships are very precious. They're very delicate. So what you do is when you see that stuff in yourself, you can say to the other person, I see how I am manipulating. And you just keep bringing it out. And the two of you bring it out and examine it with good faith. You keep doing that. You keep working and get as close as you can with it. And if the relationship doesn't allow that, then the work has got to be in yourself of bringing it up and seeing the way you're doing it. I mean, I have a very manipulative quality in me that I have had to work with a lot over the years, to the point where when I see myself doing it, either somebody points it out to me or I begin to see myself doing it, And then the interesting question is, what do you do with that moment? Do you get into, oh, you're a no good bum because you're doing that again? Or do you just kind of let it go and let it float by? So there I am again. Manindra, who was my wonderful meditation teacher, once I came to him and I was so upset about something. And he says, Ram Dass, don't you see it's just old karma running on? And I really heard that. It's just old stuff out of us running on. Bring it up, look at it, and let it go.